Juana I of Castile, commonly known as Juana la Loca or Joanna the Mad, was born on November 6, 1479, in Toledo, Spain, to Queen Isabella I of Castile and King Ferdinand II of Aragon. As a member of the powerful House of Trastamara, she was part of the royal family that would unify Spain and lay the foundations for its emergence as a dominant global empire. Early life and education. Juana was the third child of Isabella and Ferdinand. From a young age, she showed signs of intellectual brilliance. Her education was extensive and humanist in nature. She was taught Latin, French, history, philosophy, and religious studies, which was quite rare for women of her time. She was known to be intelligent, refined, and attractive. However, contemporaries also noted that she exhibited signs of emotional sensitivity, which some have interpreted as the early signs of mental health issues. Despite her intelligence, Juana was never expected to inherit the throne. Her older brother, Juan, and her sister, Isabella, were higher in the line of succession. However, a series of untimely deaths among her siblings would drastically change her fate. Marriage to Philip the Handsome. In 1496, at the age of 16, Juana was married to Philip the Handsome, Felipe el Hermoso, son of the Holy Roman Emperor Maximilian I of Habsburg, as part of a political alliance between the Spanish and Habsburg dynasties. Juana traveled to the Low Countries, modern-day Belgium and the Netherlands, to be with her new husband. She fell deeply in love with Philip, which was unusual for royal marriages of the time that were often based solely on political convenience. Philip, known for his striking good looks and charm, initially returned Juana's affections but later distanced himself emotionally and physically. His infidelities deeply distressed Juana. She grew increasingly jealous and emotionally unstable, reacting with outbursts and paranoia. These behaviors led to early rumors of her mental instability. Succession crisis and rise to power. The unexpected deaths of her older siblings and their heirs thrust Juana into the line of succession. Her brother Juan died in 1497, her sister Isabella in 1498, and Isabella's son Miguel in 1500. With no other viable heirs, Juana became the Princess of Asturias, the heir to both Castile and Aragon. When her mother Queen Isabella died in 1504, Juana became Queen of Castile. However, the situation soon grew complicated. Her father Ferdinand wanted to continue governing, and her husband Philip sought to assert control over Castile as king consort. Both sides claimed Juana was mentally unfit to rule, leading to a power struggle. Philip quickly sidelined her and took control of Castile. However, his reign was short-lived. He died suddenly in 1506, possibly from typhoid fever or poisoning, though rumors swirled around his death. Descent into isolation. Philip's death shattered Juana. Overcome with grief, she reportedly refused to part with his embalmed body, traveling around Castile with his coffin in a procession that lasted months. These actions cemented her reputation as Juana la Loca, Juana the Mad, though modern historians debate the extent and nature of her supposed madness. Some argue she may have suffered from clinical depression, schizophrenia, or bipolar disorder, while others believe she was politically manipulated by those who sought to sideline her. Ferdinand returned to Castile and assumed the regency, declaring Juana unfit to rule. She was confined to the royal palace in Tordesillas in 1509, along with her daughter, Catherine. This confinement lasted over 46 years, during which she remained a titular queen but had no real political power. Life in captivity. Juana's life in Tordesillas was marked by sorrow and stagnation. She was held under strict supervision, isolated from the court and from political affairs. She was denied access to the outside world, including letters and visitors. Reports suggest that she remained lucid at times but could also be melancholic and paranoid. Her son, Charles I of Spain, later Holy Roman Emperor Charles V, inherited her claims and maintained her confinement to ensure political stability. Despite being Queen of Castile and Aragon in title, Juana was a prisoner for most of her adult life. Her confinement served as a political tool for her father and later her son, who used her status to legitimize their own rule while keeping her sidelined. Death and legacy. Juana I of Castile died on April 12, 1555, at the age of 75. She was buried next to her husband Philip in the Royal Chapel of Granada, where her parents were also interred. Her legacy remains controversial and tragic. While she is often remembered as a madwoman driven insane by love, modern historians increasingly view her life as one of political imprisonment and manipulation. She was a queen in name but never in power, a pawn in the hands of ambitious men. Her story reflects not only the cruelty of court politics but also the lack of understanding and compassion for mental illness in her time. Today, Juana is seen by some as a symbol of how mental health and gender were used to marginalize women in positions of power. Her life, full of potential and crushed by politics, continues to fascinate historians and artists alike, inspiring literature, films, and academic debates.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel.